can get as close as you want to the mic.
I ain't gonna lie, fam. I ain't got hay fever. I wanna hear all that sniffing and stuff in it.
Bro, you got hay fever?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I can't believe the trees be doing this to you. I can't.
I don't do that, man. Hay fever is.
You got hay fever too?
I do have hay fever.
I can't believe they're doing this to you guys. We should protest.
Protest hay fever. Protest pollen. I'm tired of these motherfucking plants.
Alright, you started.
Right. So 3, 2, 1, and.
Welcome to the OD cast,
Hey
everyone.
there, guys.
Oh,
This
god
is
damn
the
it.
OD podcast.
This guy's cut into my first intro. I cannot believe it. You know what? Welcome to the OD cast, guys. Don't worry about him. He's not going to be here next time.
Oh, what? What was
We're
involved?
here. No, you're here, bro. Always, man.
Thank
Come
you,
on,
man.
man. Come
Appreciate
on.
you.
Black Lives Matter, bro.
Black. Okay.
And that's what we're here for today.
Nice segue.
How are you guys feeling right now?
Outraged.
Outraged?
Infuriated.
Pissed off, man.
Well, I'm feeling a bit two-way about it. But
Yeah.
we'll save that. We will save that. Firstly, I just wanted to start off by, just talking about what Black Lives Matter actually is. Like, a lot of people are saying they don't understand what message we're trying to put out there, which is a bit like, well, you're clearly not listening then.
So, I don't know. You said. Alright. So, Black Lives Matter. The statement itself. You put people instantly go all lives matter, which obviously all lives matter. The point here is that Black lives do not matter as much as white lives, and just white lives in general.
But also, how can all lives matter if Black lives don't matter?
Yeah,
Like, it
literally,
doesn't make any
that-
sense.
Doesn't make any
It's a
sense.
paradox. It makes no sense. So it's not to say that all lives don't matter. It's to say that the amount of oppression, the levels of oppression, the levels of systematic injustice, the levels of malpractice and just terrible things that happen to black people globally, as well as the USA, is unjust. And we're just screaming for equality. At this point, we're screaming and shouting. Before it was like trickles, but it's just a process. It's a process and a road that has been that's been moving since the civil rights movement. With your Malcolm X's, with your Martin Luther Kings, with your Rosa Parks, etc. And so many more. Even Nina Simone.
Literally, Nina Simone. A classic.
You watch
a
her
classical
documentary?
black artist. No, but I listen to her music.
Guys,
She's
watch her
an amazing
documentary.
artist.
Yeah.
She's actually really good.
Yeah.
There we go. A recommendation. Something people should go look into. Nina Simone. She's a very good a black classical artist.
She's just legendary, man.
She
Her
said
voice is
something about
beautiful.
jazz as well. She said that white people basically didn't want to call black classic music, so they named it jazz. It wasn't actually named jazz by our culture. Yeah, it's not something that we consider. She says she makes classical black music, a rich music that they say we cannot make because we're incapable. But I just want to say that, like you said, watching a documentary will give you good insight what's going on, what she went through, as well as supporting all the Black Lives Matter movements that are out there, which I think is something that's really important and something that is really being overlooked as well. Because it's all right protesting. Shout out to the people that are out there peacefully protesting. It's something that we need. It's something that hasn't really been done that much.
Can I say? I think I'm with Tariq in. I'm not here for peaceful protesting. I appreciate I understand and appreciate the sentiment of peaceful protesting, and it is the right thing to do. But it's not to. But revolutions are enacted on violence. So it's not to say go burn down residential areas or go loot every other shop on Oxford Street or wherever. Okay, I'm only speaking in terms of the UK. I'm not saying we're doing any of that here. My thing is, if you are going to destroy government buildings,
Literally.
Destroy the police department. Don't go destroy your town hall or something.
Destroy the things that are actually affecting us. Because instead of going out there and robbing, alright, Gucci, was it Gucci that done the blackface thing?
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough. Okay. But for example, robbing some of the black-owned businesses like corner shops, car companies. I mean, fair enough.
I think we need to differentiate between
from
the people that are looting and the
stuff.
people that are protesting.
Yeah, I feel
peacefully.
like they're getting bunched in together.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that as well. I know Tariq's got a lot to say about that. But one more thing I did want to say as well is that I feel like we should definitely be speaking about the people who have lost their lives, not only now, but also in the past as well. Sandra Bland, I know you know a couple as well. Come on, if you'd like to name them.
Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner, Ahmaud Arbery.
Philando Castile.
Oh, yes.
The list goes on.
The list actually goes on. And plus, the 6 more people who have lost their lives, allegedly, during the protests. So clearly...
It's the same exact thing we're fighting for right now.
Literally, the same exact thing we're fighting for right now. Clearly, they're not hearing us. And how much louder would you like people to get? we're making a lot of noise right now.
Why should we need to shout this much?
Why exactly?
Why should I
you
need to have to beg and plead
for the sake of humanity?
Exactly.
Literally for the sake of humanity.
Literally for the sake
You're
of
not
humanity.
asking for much. You're literally just asking to
I
be
just
taken
want
seriously.
to be equal.
Literally, I want to be able to have the chances that you have. And then people are going to say, yeah, but you do have the chances you have because you're here. There's a difference between having a chance in front of you and actually being able to achieve it, and having a chance in front of you and being hindered from actually achieving it. But people don't seem to understand that.
No, they don't. I mean, I think here as well, racism in the UK, no one ever speaks about it. It's such a taboo statement, or topic. But I don't understand that, because if you're not racist, why is it so sensitive for you to talk about racism?
It's hard to accept what you are, isn't it? Literally.
Truly. What white people don't understand in the UK don't understand is that you can be a nice person and a good person but also still be racist. And the system that you've created and the system that we live in perpetuates and causes injustices for black people and ethnic minorities. There are only like 3 million of us in the UK out of 66 million. So we don't really have the voice that the Americans do, because they're an actual population. We're an ethnic minority here. Asians, black and ethnic, black and Asian.
Bam,
exactly.
Any displaced diaspora, literally.
Exactly.
100.
My thing here was that they won't understand it because it's so overt. Like things like, you're 80% less likely to get a job with an ethnic name. Statistically speaking,
it's actually.
If I go with, I don't want to bait out people's full names.
Yeah.
I was going to say only into the.
But actually, I'll say, man, if I was, because I admit, even on my CV, my name is Dian Yamahira. But on my CV, I'll put Dylan, which is a name that was given us in primary school.
I miss out my middle name because it's a bit too ethnic.
Yeah.
Akil, like ooh.
Yeah.
Fam, not even just that. Like, alright, some websites I put up my CV and I had my picture in it. I think I got rejected so many times until I took my picture down. Then I started getting job acceptances and stuff.
They see, oh, we don't want him working for us. He's a bad apple.
And it's like that isn't them saying, oh, you're some sort of racial slur or whatever. So they'll say, oh, it's not racism. It's just it's a microaggression. Like, it's things that don't allow you to get to better yourself and get better.
It's like people don't realize you don't have to be openly racist to be racist.
Thank you.
Like, for example, I was going to talk about the silence is violence thing that everyone was saying, but we'll get onto that later. It's, for example, like, let's say you see a black man on the street being
Cross the
harassed,
street,
and you cross the street and walk past it. You're openly being racist. You're basically saying, I'm alright with that.
Yeah,
you might think, oh yeah, no, I'm just protecting myself from staying away from it. But think about if it was you in that situation. What about if you were being harassed or if you were in danger? Well, then you want someone to come and help you. If the black man walked past you, you'll be like, oh, look at that animal. He's out here watching this innocent person being attacked. But if it's a black person, look at the animal being attacked.
Racism is being 8 times more likely to be stopped and searched as a black man than you would as a white counterpart.
Literally. Or being stopped as a black man and having your white counterpart left out.
And again, white people will say, oh, well, this doesn't happen that much. Or even when I was looking at statistics for police brutality in the UK, and then in terms of ethnicity. So I think in terms of out of the 13 people died over the past, I think it's decade, call it. 13 black people have died in police custody, in which police force has been used. Yeah, comparative to about 140 something white people that have died in police custody once force is used. If you were to take the numbers alone and say, oh well, 13 people have only died compared to 140 plus, what are you complaining about? That's not the point. The point here is that is so disproportionately high in terms of relative to the actual population that we have. If there are only about 3 million of us and 13 men died, that's still a bigger propensity than the 148 people that have died. Exactly. To the however many white people there are in the UK, call it 60 million. Not 60 million. 50 something.
Yeah, it's a bit less. But from everything we've said here, I feel like we've all come to one conclusion. Racism still exists. No matter how much they might say things have changed, things aren't changing quickly. Things probably won't change quickly. But what we need to do is keep going forward of positively trying to change the position that we're in, or the position that we've initially been put in, I would say, because we've got to find a way to come out on top. Otherwise, as always, after the protest, things will just go back to being the same. They'll convict the 4 officers, and then they'll be like, all right, guys, now be quiet. Go back to
your
work.
whole circle.
That's what I don't want. That's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see this be middle ground. I want actual reform. People like to think that this is very extreme. I mean, it is extreme, but a very unlikely or unforeseeable idea. But the abolition of the police of the police in America should be considered. Because
abolition of the police in America.
Completely.
Now, I think that's a bit too drastic.
No, see,
Just
now
like,
that's not. This isn't to say you don't have any sort of law protectors or law enforcement. But it's to say that this current makeup and model of your policing system is just wrong.
Okay, see.
It is a direct evolution of the slave patrol that they had. That's where it comes from.
Thank you, yo.
Okay,
That's where it comes from. Why the fuck would I
was
want
gonna
that
go
in my
into that,
life?
bro.
Fair enough,
Abolish that shit.
Literally, you gotta get rid of it. Now, putting
I
it
can't
in that
think-
form and sense, you can literally see where these problems have come from, and they've clearly stemmed from underlying issues which have not been resolved, kind of been covered with a bit of mud. Like they've buried it a bit, and
And
just
I think,
each time they dig it up, put it deeper again next
Yeah,
time, and then
man.
they'll wait a bit, and then they'll bring it back up again.
and I think this is the best time because even, bruv, we're in a global pandemic and we're having to
Protest. Literally,
And we're the most at risk when it comes to this
Most
shit,
at
bro.
risk.
We're meant to be staying at home to protect ourselves from the virus. Going outside sometimes, but you can't even go outside. Why? Because you're just as likely to die out there too.
But the fact that the world's focus is on their policing system, and the fact that you're still recording and seeing this happen, people's eyes are being ruptured, getting beaten. Old men are getting pushed to the floor.
Literally, they actually
Man
don't
are
care
still you're still killing unarmed black people.
Literally, after
It
what
can't.
the process
It
is.
can't go on.
It can't go on.
It can't go on. This can't be a middle ground. This can't be a stopgap. You need something now so that you get. Bro, you shouldn't have to shout for equality this
literally.
month.
You shouldn't have to shout to be treated like a human being.
Yeah.
And that's why I've said, with what we're doing now, after this, we need to keep going forward. Getting into
Truly.
black economics, black education, supporting black businesses, supporting each other as a nation. And maybe one day taking back our country.
This country.
No.
That's
Africa.
what I
Let's
say.
take
Go
it-
tell
no,
him,
no,
tell him,
no,
do.
no, no, no. We all know, although we may say it's our country, it's never really considered our country.
Yeah,
Always
I feel
considered
it's-
as visitors.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, it's like you never. I don't know about you, man, but I never truly feel comfortable here, because all saying, "Oh, where you from?" I'm like, I will tell you I'm from Ghana and Jamaica, but again, I don't live in Ghana or Jamaica.
Like at work in a professional environment, you kind of feel uncomfortable to disclose your ethnicity. 'Cause
Yeah, say I'm
you
from
feel
the
like you
United
might be
Kingdom.
treated a bit differently.
Yeah, like, have you not ever been in a situation where someone asks you where you're from, but then you tell them what country your background
Bro.
is, but then they're like, nah, I'm talking about where you from in London.
Yeah.
Do you know what's
Okay,
funny?
I've had the sorry, I was gonna quit. I've had the reverse, yeah, where we were in Bosnia, and our teammates we were having team dinner, and these Eastern European man are like, "Oh, where you from?" And I'm like, "England." And he said, "No, where you really from?" I'm like, "What?
What?
England?
England. I've
Where
been
you
there all
really
my
from?" And like, "Oh, okay, well, Ghana and Jamaica." And it's just awkward. Like,
Yeah,
what?
it's really
Why
awkward.
should I have to?
Why did I have to
I was
differentiate?
born in England,
You
so
should've
really,
taken
I
it
am
first
from
off.
England, alongside these places
Yeah.
where my heritage
Literally comes from.
stems from.
That's
But
what
it's
people
like,
need to understand as well.
yeah, it's awkward. You feel me?
But the funny part about that is that we at least we know where we're from. Like
Yeah.
we're so many we're not like so far off like generation wise.
yeah.
With
Right,
Americans, like they can't just be like, oh, I'm from Nigeria. They don't know where they're from. Because
That's the-
slavery, they're so far off from slavery, like so many generations down, that they can't trace it back. So that's why kind of like asking them where they're from is kind of to a certain extent disrespectful because they're like,
truly.
I'm American, I'm African American. Like, I don't,
And
they
this
don't
is
know.
You're
where I
right,
talk
you're
about
right.
the lack
Because
of education.
No, but I think that's more just the cruelty of slavery and how they stripped you of your name, your religion, your whole belief system, and imprinted theirs on you. So you have no real connection to where you're actually from. They've taken that from you.
They have.
It's
And
like I look
basically
at my
utilising
surname
you.
and I'm like, oh, thank God I've still got an African surname. I see a man like Johnson, and I think, bro, what's going on, fam?
Where did Johnson come from?
Where did Johnson come from, fam? Why am I looking at LeBron James and second name James like?
Yeah,
bro,
it should have been, you
be
should have been able
LeBron
to keep
Bogamba or
heritage.
something.
Well, that's where they say the education part is important. We need to be able to revisit our history
Mm.
in the correct manner where it's not being edited in order to suit the oppressor's image of what we are.
How hard do you think that is?
Extremely hard, very hard, extremely hard. People
How-
try. We have scholars out there currently still searching for the past of the country that we come from.
For a sec.
Fucking slave patrol, imagine.
But honestly, guys, on that note, I feel like it's extremely important that we do support each other and we do support ourselves by supporting all these Black Lives Matter movements and also donating to these charities, donating to the people that have lost their lives, the protesters being arrested, because we know that at this moment in time, the police are going to take advantage of the unrest and the uproar that's going on to be doing things on the sly. It happens all the time. And I feel like with the awareness that's being spread positively, that's where the change is actually going to happen. And that's what people need to focus on rather than out there rioting and doing a lot of nonsense. But we're about to get into the real issue, the real problem. The death of the man who sparked everything that's going on right now. The death of the man who's not only lost his family, or who's been lost to a family, but he's also lost his daughter as well. She's lost a father. She's lost a key figure in her life that she's never going to get back. I feel like that's something that we really are missing. I know people were circulating a video of her saying she believes her dad changed the world. Initially, he has. He's probably fueled. Actually, I wouldn't say he changed it, but he's fueled the change.
I hope it does cause change.
I won't lie to you. It was like a certain chain of events that started this whole thing that kicked it off.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So for example, it started with the guy Amar Dabiri. Yeah? So he was in his neighborhood and he's the one that was jogging and got shot by 2 white guys. Yeah. He got shot in February, but the video didn't surface on social media until May 5th. So that May 5th, yeah. Second one, Breonna Taylor, the one that not too many people are talking about, the one that her house got raided and she got shot 8 times.
Yes, in the house.
By 3 officers, and they're still walking. Apparently, not till yesterday was charges started to pen. So that's around May 10th the video surfaced, or like the news surfaced, right? And then we have flipping, Karen, Amy Cooper, the one that flipping called the police on the guy in Central Park for asking her just to put the leash on the dog.
Because your dog's not meant to.
And then she acted like she acted a victim.
Literally.
And she acted as if he was a direct threat to her life as well.
I'm going to emphasize on his ethnicity. That's the bit that really threw me off.
That was it.
He didn't have to do that.
She knew
she knew what she's doing. She knew what she was doing.
She knew that they would come with more urgency if she said she was being attacked or harassed by a black man.
Literally. She knew that if the police did get there, she wouldn't be getting in trouble. Even though she's the one that is clearly in the wrong, she's clearly technically breaking the law.
They wouldn't even
think twice about it.
Yeah, they wouldn't think
twice.
twice.
Automatically be considered the enemy or the one in the wrong.
Exactly. And wouldn't try and rationalize it. Wouldn't try and be mediators or say, okay, what's been happening here? It's instantly. It will be instant. Guns out. What's going on? What's happening? And then it will escalate. Something irrational will happen, and then boom, another man's dead.
And then do we protest again? Do we get back onto the streets? But then what happens? Maybe they'll start shooting us on the streets as well. They'll get tired.
They've started shooting.
Literally, they have started shooting. Literally, like something I was talking about before. The 6 people who have currently lost their lives during the protest. That clearly shows that our voices are not being heard. No. And the fact that
I don't think it's that our voices aren't being heard. They're being heard because there's still being there's action being put in place.
Okay.
Minimal, like Derek Chauvin's, the guy that killed George Floyd. Okay. His sentence has been escalated from to 3rd degree murder.
But it took all of this in order for it to happen.
Yeah.
So if it was never recorded, what would happen? He would still be walking free right now.
Would definitely be walking free. So and the other officers also wouldn't even be talked about. They wouldn't be considered.
They're trying to do the bare minimum to stop this.
Literally, they're trying to make it seem that they're doing something so that, like I said before, can say, all right, we've sorted what you guys were complaining about. Be quiet. Go back to doing what you were doing before.
Just
and they can't stop there because, as you can clearly see, this man was murdered in broad daylight. Live camera. They knew exactly what was going on and just simply did not care. Really and truly, that should be 1st degree murder. Because you might say it's not
on his face.
Because the reason why they say it's second degree is because it wasn't premeditated. Really and truly, it was premeditated because the man said, "I can't breathe," and you did not move.
It's not even that. It's the fact that they used to work together.
And you used to work together as well. So and you know this person. So you must know this person is not a clear threat. You work in the same field, so you know.
You clearly had an issue with him. The same with Ahmaud Arbery. They knew who he was.
Okay, so like he was a target.
Yeah,
systematic target. The thing is, something that the police always do.
If you try to try them for 1st degree murder and you literally cannot prove it unless you're 100%, they're gonna walk free.
Yeah, see
they're gonna walk free.
See, that's another thing I was gonna mention. The whole beyond reasonable doubt thing. What I said about him saying he couldn't breathe and the man clearly knowing that this man could not breathe.
Yeah.
Basically making it a premeditated murder because you knelt on this man's neck as he can't breathe. You know he cannot breathe.
He's lifeless. He's not resisting.
He's lifeless. He's not resisting. But you're still kneeling on his neck, knowing you're restraining him by blocking his airways.
Same thing happened in France.
Literally, same thing happened in France. So,
same thing happened here.
Really and truly, it should be Scotland. 1st degree murder, but they're not going to do that because it's something they're trying to sweep under the carpet. The French kid, with the current protests that are going on. That
Sheku
happened on the
Boya.
28th. Sheku Boya, that the one in Ireland.
Yeah, that's the one in Scotland, Kirkland. I don't know these Scottish names. Sorry for the people that watch in Scotland. But yeah, no, exactly the same incident in too much pressure being placed on his neck for a prolonged period of time killed him. But we didn't.
So these are things that haven't been emphasized. These are things that clearly haven't been put at the forefront, which is currently fueling this issue that is going on right now. Because if you think about it, in total, well, this is a statistic that I found on Al Jazeera. Everyone knows. Your auntie and uncles.
11,000, 10,000.
No. It's a statistic that I got on Al Jazeera. Who your aunties and uncles must watch it. You know, it's reliable. They'll tell you. It says that 7,666 people have lost their lives at the hands of the police between 2013 and 2019. These are the people that are so-called meant to be protecting
serve and protect,
and they're serving and protecting. It seems to be they're doing a lot of serving and protecting and cleaning up.
My dad always used to tell me that the police aren't there for you. The police are a gang in essence. It's just it's an elitist group of individuals that were probably bullied in school or bitch made. Okay, not to generalize police because some police do.
There are good police, and that's also something that we need to say. There are good police.
Yeah, but those are good people.
Minority,
but there are a lot.
I should say that those are good people rather than good police officers.
But my thing with that is, so it's not only like a rotten apple amongst a bunch. The whole tree is rotten, bro.
That's it.
The whole tree is rotten.
That's why I call for
you need to just start fresh, bro. Like start fresh.
Completely. Especially as soon as this idiot is out of power, because he is easily one of, if not the worst, US president of all time. Go on.
Guys, isn't it something that I said that I saw? It takes longer to become a hairdresser.
Barber than it is to get your become police.
Yeah. What kind of fuckery is that? They don't even see, that's mad. They don't even screen people enough. Derek Chauvin had 18 flipping. I can't remember, but he had 18 different misdemeanors beforehand.
Oh yeah, there were 18.
Yeah, that you've just allowed him to...
And some of them were swept under the carpet as no penalisation, and you got penalised for 2 things. Just 2 things out of the 16. So clearly you can see that this is a reoccurring thing. You know that this man, he's meant to be protecting and serving, but he's doing more damage than he is.
So guys, isn't that kind of evidence for first degree murder?
No.
If it kind of because you can't kill 18 people and tell me they
you didn't kill 18 people. It's just 16 complaints against him as a police officer, not as a person, as a police officer actually on the job. So people have said that this man ain't doing his job properly.
Yeah, it's so funny, bro.
16 times.
It's so funny not bringing that up here, but when a black person dies or someone dies, they want to go bring up everything from the past. Everything from the past.
All the time.
George Floyd was a criminal, right?
Yeah.
All his crimes or anything that he did, was back from the last one he committed was in 2007. He's a changed man now. So what are you justifying?
He's working as security. He's trying to keep people safe now. He may have been causing trouble before, but he's made that change.
I hate that. I do hate that though. I hate that. Even in the situations where someone is a good person and look at what he was doing for the community. It shouldn't be about that. It shouldn't be about the sheer fact that someone has died who didn't deserve to die at that point.
It's never
justifiable.
A human life has been lost.
Exactly, it's been lost. You can't just say, "Oh well, he was this, that, and the other." If you had killed a murdering rapist, then there wouldn't be this outrage. But what truly did he do at that moment in time, and what was he doing throughout his life?
Handing over a £20 counterfeit note. Apparently, he lost his life.
You know there were 2 suspects in that case. One of them was white. You know what he said? He said we were both we were both charged with this indictment of the $20 of using a counterfeit $20. For me, for George Floyd, it was a death sentence. For me, it was it was a story that I tell at parties sometimes. That, my friends, is white privilege.
100%.
The fact that a black man going into any policing situation, a routine traffic stop can lead to death. Comparative to white people,
a routine traffic stop.
Can be
just
literally
you driving
anything.
home. No, you're not even protesting. Like, for example, the 2 young people, the 2 students that were tasered and dragged out of their car. If you saw it, circling all over the news. They were literally driving home. No protesting. Weren't making any noise. They weren't disobeying any orders by the police officer. They weren't outwardly being.
Ran up on them.
The police ran up on them, tasered them, beat them, and they were trying to record. They weren't resisting. They were just saying, speak to us from inside the vehicle. There was no reason for them to come out of the car.
Wasn't the main one that pulled the guy out?
Black.
Two of them are black. Well, two of them are
Yeah.
black, but the
So
two on the
imagine
inside.
you're
Yeah.
doing that to your
Oh.
fellow. You're doing that to your own
After
fellow brother.
you can see what we're clearly fighting for, you're gonna go and do that. So basically, what you're saying is, yeah, you lot are fighting for it, but I don't care. I'm with these guys. Like, as Dr. Umar Johnson would say, my friend, you have coon so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. He Umar Johnson. I'm not gonna call him a doctor because what is he a doctor of? Truly, what has he
Doctor
said?
of-
What the definition of a coconut?
He's a weird
I
one.
don't even get to that.
Anyway,
man, man.
I don't know how to feel about him because sometimes he'll say something truly extremely powerful and eloquent, and then on the other side
It's a bit
it's some
questioning, yeah, you're
dumb
questioning
weird
it.
nonsense.
It's so
Your
funny
question.
that it's so funny. All the talking that he does, yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't been out protesting once. He said he just wanted to protest in. He won't say he wanted to be a segregated protest. He's not going to
Yeah,
protest
see,
with white people.
that's nonsense, bro. Like, see, I feel like you're playing to a character at that point, because it's a lot of cash at me and support this, that, and the other, and you can't marry white women and you can't be this, and if you have associations with white people, then da. But I don't know anything in your personal background.
Those
But
are
it
the
shouldn't be
things-
about. It's not about.
Those are the things I'm
Dr. Umar
talking
Johnson.
about that don't really contribute to the general positive protest that we need to be putting out there to solve this case. Like the protests that we
Now,
have done have pushed the case.
I'd
We're
wanna
getting
say-
charges, aren't we?
I don't want to say it should. Protesting now shouldn't be about this case or
Yeah,
the
it should be
incidents
about
that
moving
had,
forward.
It should be about equality as a whole. You should, like this is the point, because they are they're trying their hardest not to listen, but they're having to now because there's nothing else that that anyone else is focused on, even in a global viral pandemic. No, the main focus is on the fact that
The whole
black-
world's focusing on it.
Exactly.
The whole world is
So-
protesting for
Can
it.
I just say
Go
as
on.
well, I think it's a good thing that this is happening as well, because you know where we have left Brexit,
Yeah.
our human rights are not written by the EU no more.
Yeah.
United Nations.
So a lot of rights that we have do not.
We're still a part of the United Nations.
Yeah, but the EU human rights that we currently hold, we don't hold no more.
But I doubt that
So
will
we
drastically
go back
affect
to the
anyone.
we go back to the old
same.
we go back to the old English human rights.
No, not necessarily, because they will still have to abide by human rights
Basic
in
human
general.
rights,
yeah,
yeah.
because you can't go back to where it was like before just because you've left the
But-
EU. The
so-
United Nations are still in place. You're still a part of that, so you have to abide by those laws. It's not like they've broken off completely. They're still keeping the initial order that's around. It's just a case of trying to become a new, as they would say.
Let me get back to my point quick though. I don't want to. I'm gonna go protesting on Saturday, and I'm gonna try and protest whenever I don't.
I
have
do
work.
encourage people to
But
positively protest.
I
Definitely.
don't want this to be a stopgap of, oh yeah, we got justice for George Floyd. That's it. There needs to be extreme reform in the USA and the world globally. The world as a whole.
I'm gonna ask- oh, God.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not fair. It's been enough time now, and we're in a society currently that is so fixed and affixed to things that align with humanitarian rights and being upstanding citizens, and so much cancel culture. As soon as someone said something bad, then we gotta
we're
get
definitely
onto
gonna get
them.
to
How
that,
could
yeah.
they do that? We're not like
We're
this.
definitely gonna
But
get to that.
you don't see that in actual society. So I want and we need this to be
Something
the
that
point
we
at
always
which
do.
there's drastic and distinct change from where we were.
Drastic, distinct, and continuous change.
Exactly.
We can't stop. We've got to keep
Yeah.
mobilizing, keep organizing,
Honestly.
organizing by any means necessary.
And if you didn't
Until we all have equality.
exactly
That's
everyone, it's
and
not black
that's-
lives, it's
It's
everyone.
all lives
Yeah,
matter.
no.
But black lives
It's
do
like-
matter.
It's like what I was saying to you guys before.
Not all lives matter.
Black,
Fuck that.
it is all lives matter, but in this case,
When?
it's not.
It's all lives matter when
When-
black lives matter.
Literally,
Yeah,
it can only be that.
exactly.
It can only be that.
Because, like I was saying to you guys before this, for over 400 years or more, we're in a modern slavery
Literally.
that is just basically has been shadowed.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's
It's
literally
like
what
they-
it is. So what everyone is fighting for now, you are fighting for all lives matter, but the title of Black Lives Matter hits home that bit more, hits that heart a bit more, because out of all the minorities in this world, black people have suffered the most.
It's
People
for
of
me.
colour
It's not
have
even.
suffered the most.
Yeah, it's not even. It's not even to say. It's not even to say. Oh, who suffered the most? Then
Yeah.
it's not. It's not a competition.
Yeah, it's just the
Obviously, that's not what you're saying.
continuous
suffering.
Yeah, I know.
It's the
But
continuous suffrage.
yeah, it's not. It's the fact that even to this day,
We're still
still having to deal with this.
To
People.
this day.
It's not just black people.
It's people in
It's
general.
it's everyone. It's everyone that's not white from.
Yeah, it's like
There's
it's
no
like,
act.
bro. It's like I'm Asian myself, innit? Yeah, and you guys are black.
Mm.
But I know you guys are more likely to be hassled than I am. It depends on the situation as well. If it's behind the wheel, I know an Asian man is definitely likely to get stopped. You
Yeah.
can't drive around East London, yeah,
Mm.
with more than 3 Asians or 3 Asian people in a car,
Mm.
or 3 Asian males in a car, without a police looking at you suspiciously, and then having a random traffic stop for what? Yeah,
Can I
and
just-
then you're either a drug dealer, you're about to go and commit a nuisance and this and that and whatever. Do you know what I mean? But
100. Can I say
you guys, but like, in a sense of that happens, but then you guys are there getting like killed and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
It's not to say others aren't getting killed. It's that it happens to us disproportionately to the way it happens to everyone else.
Oh, definitely.
And
That's something that no one can deny.
And again, it's not
It's a
just. It's
statistic.
not. It shouldn't just be about police brutality and police fatalities that they've caused to black people and unarmed people and those that haven't.
Slavery.
It's more than that. Systematic racism.
Exactly.
Everything.
It's the
definitely-
system as a whole that you've built on the backs of us.
Has been
Be it
put
in
against
be it in the USA, be it in the UK, be it in Brazil, be it in France. As much as they don't want to admit it, the sheer fact that the colonies that you've enslaved are still countries that you've enslaved are still having to pay reparations back to you in 2020 astounds me. They've taken 21 billion pounds dollars, whatever you want to call currency, from fucking Haiti. You know the man are eating mud cakes.
Literally.
Haiti,
They're
and you
not
want to
living
continue to do this. And you want to act like you're a humanitarian. You're you're such
Democracy.
upstanding, an upstanding democracy. When Algerians are still having to pay for this, the Congolese franc,
The country is still being raped and pillaged to this day by the same people who killed over 2 million Congolese
and it's real life segregation and apartheid in France, bruv. No, but black people don't live in Paris.
No. Not peacefully, at least. And this is why I'm saying another thing I wanted to just mention is during the George Floyd thing, people were talking about the people taking pictures and obviously
Here we
video.
go, here we go.
One thing I wanted to say was yes, you should initially intervene, but in that moment you can clearly see that these police officers have no intention other than subduing this man in the most brutal way with no consideration for life whatsoever. So in the back of your mind, your first thought is they have no consideration for this man's life. They definitely aren't going to care about mine.
Nah, man.
So in that instance, are you then meant to, for the sake of humanity, put yourself in danger or do what the 17-year-old girl who was bullied online for it did?
Yeah, that's
take out a
that's
phone
crazy.
and record it. Make sure that this is recorded so that these police officers don't get away with this. Because
what would you do and where would you be without the recording?
Just a second. Because the news was that the police's cameras were not on. So in that sense was, if this happened, I guarantee they would have said, this man died from maybe coronavirus since it's about.
They
it's a good
tried to
excuse.
say that.
It's a good, or he died from
No, they
underlying
actually tried
health
to say
issues.
that.
Literally, they try to say that
Crazy.
coronavirus and underlying health issues
Even
are the things
after
that
a
kill
coroner's
him.
report.
His family had to go and do an independent coroner report in order to get actual facts. So even after death, the odds are pitted against you.
Hey, I ain't gonna
What
lie.
is it that you do?
Yo, the first examiner that did his autopsy and said underlying he should face fines too, bro. Like, all that,
100%,
you're trying to cover
100%.
stuff
Basically
up.
tried to lie.
Obstruction of justice.
Exactly.
And he technically lying on the oath because you're doing this job for the police. You're meant to basically prove what happened. You're meant to be telling the truth because obviously the truth can be obscured, but you have the evidence right there and then that is going to be presented.
Here's a good point. I think doctors will have their licenses stripped and face charges for little misdemeanors and malpractice. Yeah. A policeman shoots a man. A policeman chokes a man to death, and you defend him. Why is that?
To the death. Oh, this man had this. This man had that. This man died. This man is not alive anymore. You haven't.
These are equally important professions, and you've held one to such a low standard compared to the other. It's not even to compare, but the fact that you hold them to such low standards when they're supposed to be the elite of society,
Literally.
protecting everyone.
Protecting everyone, protecting and serving, as you said, but it's not what they're doing. They're doing more damage than good.
But yo, back to the George Floyd thing real quick. Alright, So they should not be bullying the girl for recording, fam. I understand. Not everyone's able to do so. And if it was me, I'm not gonna lie. I am not sitting there recording someone for 9 minutes slowly dying in front of me. I don't care what happens to me. I am kicking that guy off of his neck. Like I'm not gonna watch him die, bro. That makes it feel like his blood on my hands also.
See, now in that sense,
I may get arrested. I may get shot. I might get tased. But fam, I can't watch that. I'm sorry.
I hear that. Now in that sense, this is where I come back to the whole mob mentality we have against this protest. Now I'm thinking, right, we've all managed to come together to go protesting, looting, breaking things, but we can't band together. Now I'm not saying that you should go out there and be on some military stuff. No. I'm just saying you can clearly see that these police officers have a complete disregard for life. Tupac done the exact same thing. He drew his weapon on 2 off-duty police officers that were harassing a black man. He got arrested for it. Turns out the police officers were off duty and they're taking their guns out from a locker that they weren't meant to have. So he got away with that. Those police officers were charged. That could also happen. You can see that these police officers are not taking care of this man. They're not protecting and serving. They're doing more harm than good. This man's about to lose his life. I don't think that in a court of law, which is the place they're going to take you, you can't prove that beyond reasonable doubt that was something you had to do.
See, now I don't think I understand where you're both coming from. I think we can't do this thing where we put equivalence to like, I would do this in this situation, why hasn't she? Because obviously, like, people are built differently. Like, we don't have the same mindset. Obviously, that's not what you're saying, but in general, and I feel really bad for her because
being put in that situation.
Yeah, because you're 17 and you're fearing for your life. Truth be told, we don't know if she had tried to do something or anyone. There were several people there. There were bare man there.
You know what? She's not the only one that recorded it. You know.
Exactly.
Like 3 different angles.
See it there.
So she wasn't the
you saw the angle from behind.
Yeah.
I saw
with the 3 man on top.
I even see one of the black guys recorded that he wanted to literally jump in, but the guy, the officer, whatever his name is, Asian one, tried to like he was about to pull his gun out.
Yeah. So and that's another thing.
That's it. It's the fear for your life.
Yeah, the fear for your life, because you could clearly see they have no regard for this man. So what makes you any different? Fair enough, they were saying she had the privilege there, but you can clearly see.
I feel
in that moment,
you're bored. You're bored if you're gonna go grill this little girl because she didn't help. Fam,
do you know what's funny?
If anything,
you should be shaking her, bro.
Yeah. Exactly, because no one would know about it. And also, sorry,
she's an innocent 17-year-old girl that was basically just walking by and happened to see that, and you're telling me she's about to go on body 4 police officers.
Bro, even if she was
exactly,
I don't expect her to body any grown man. Literally. So how are you expecting this from her? And you've got her in psychiatric help now. What the fuck?
Bro,
what is that, man?
It's like her trying to body us. You
Truly, what's going on?
Let alone 4.
I don't think people
come on, man.
The people that were out there.
Come on, man. That's just that's fake outrage. You're lying. You just want to shout.
The people that were out there getting onto this little girl, I honestly feel like you were just looking to be a part of this movement. Just like the looters, for example, they're just looking to be a part of this movement. They're not for the. No, that's what
it is.
That's
clout.
It's an excuse.
It is
an excuse.
People
it's an excuse
are
to be involved.
Bro, it's like you're greedy bastards that are using a cause for your own
gain.
Exactly.
Your own gain.
Exactly.
That's where
fucking
the looters,
Jake
all these
Paul
people are
when
looting in Arizona.
You know, did you see his statement?
Yeah. I was here recording the other looters I wanted to see because I heard people doing
man.
it. You don't need to be there to prove people are looting. It's already out there on the news.
When you watch it now, you see his videographer, the guy that's taking the picture. I mean the video. Sorry, how did I forget the word video? You can hear him say, "Hey yo, you man, get me a bottle of cologne."
Wow.
Yeah. So his statement says, none of my team was out to loot, and then I can hear a man telling other people to go loot. So there's no way. Also, at no point did he apologize. He just kept saying what he was doing. So your team effed it because I know you're not smart enough to make an eloquent argument.
100%.
And you're just and also, you see, like I was watching this video about Abra and Preach. You man, go watch them on YouTube. They're jokes. But they're very smart. And they were talking about the fact that they might see this as worse than what Logan Paul did with the flipping hanging.
Definitely.
Because it's inciting and perpetuating violence for social instead of social justice and an actual cause. It's fucked, man. Even if you're not going to loot, the sheer fact that you're there and your name is Jake Paul will be like, let me go crazy on camera because I'm gonna get into his next video, and that's the clout that you're building.
Perpetuating the violence and the unrest, the uproar that's going on. 100%, I agree. So in that case, do you feel like in that sense they should be charged? Because these are people that are necessarily out here called influencers. They have a necessary influence over their audience, their target audience. So initially they're technically inciting the violence, like you said. Should they be charged for it? Would they be charged for it? Are they even going to be considered for it, or will they just be slandered on the news in a very nice way?
They won't.
In a very nice way.
No, they won't be slandered on the news. They won't be charged. You want to know why? Because that's white privilege.
There we go. Like for example, just on a way to finish up on this protest thing, there was a white woman coming out of a store, and she'd clearly been looting. And the news reporter goes and says, "Oh, and here comes a nice young lady. Oh, she has a couple things in her hand. Well, just hope she hasn't been looting. What's she been doing? She's just shopping at this."
I don't want to generalize, and I don't know for you, man.
There, what?
Like what the fuck you
just
want?
happened to
I don't want to generalize, and I don't want to speak for you, man. But a lot of the looting has been white people.
Yeah.
100%.
A lot of there is still black people looting, but a lot of the recorded incidents you see are white people that are trying to profit off of it.
Like you said, bro, the media's corrupt. The media's corrupt. They're not going to show you done any stuff.
And then the news are gonna play it out like these people are being nice. Like you just said, the white woman. You really think there's cashiers in this shop? You really think this woman just went behind the till, scanned them, put
you know exactly what she's done.
No. Come on, man. You can see the other shops are blocked off. So why do you think this one's just open?
No, that doesn't make it worse. She came out of a broken window. Now,
come on.
Now, I don't know what that says. I mean, unless the door was out of service.
You know what I mean? Trying to move like Flanders.
Yeah, unless the door was out of service, I don't really understand why she had to do that. But, each to their own, She got some free stuff.
Shout out Sun Exotic.
God damn it.
Come sponsor us.
But honestly, one more thing I didn't want to talk about before we do finish up. The celebrity witch hunt. Poor Ashley Waters having to come out on social media and pour out his heart. Something no one necessarily has to do or should never have to be forced to do in order to basically bring out their opinion. For someone who's been in the acting business for a very long time, because after he spoke, I had to go and just take a look at Ashley Waters' career, because I actually never did think about actually looking at the impact that he's had on the acting game. Yeah. Top boy, like honestly, this show that you guys talk about and bang out so much wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Facts. You wouldn't be out here wearing your zero tolerance tops and having these brands like if it wasn't for him, and you're gonna go and slander the man. That's disgusting. That's the same thing we talk about supporting black people and bringing them up rather than tearing them down. People are so quick to do it, but then when it actually comes to doing the right thing, it's like I'm not sure.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. Fucking. You see all them man with the Blackout Tuesday.
Yeah.
I thought I understand. See, no, if I don't mind if you're on your socials and you've done this in support of Black Lives Matter, and then you're still promoting black things or Black Lives Matter articles and posts and things that are related to the cause. Love that, appreciate it. That's solidarity. If you're like Justin Bieber and you just put a black screen up and said and then put
Black Lives Matter,
Black Lives Matter,
or BLM, hashtag BLM. What are you actually doing?
You didn't care. You just did this for the sake of it. Oh my God, what was that stat?
Your PR thing, your PR team told you to do it.
Clout.
Literally. No, it's not even clout. I'm gonna say why they did it. It's because of the celebrity witch hunt, being called out for something you don't care about, but because people are calling you out about it now, you're gonna be like, I've got to say something.
Like how they pressured Ovi into putting out that dumbass post, fam. Because that's actually worse than you just being silent.
Literally, I would rather you be silent and fight the fight the way you need to fight it than come out here and act like you're a part of something that you don't necessarily even understand or even know about.
All the grilling. Sorry, go on.
No, you go. My bad.
All the grilling that Jay-Z's gotten, J. Cole, Kendrick.
J. Cole's out there on the front line with them.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to talk about it. He's not a social person on social media anyway.
Bro, Kanye West hasn't said anything.
He's donating 6 million to the families.
Exactly.
More than that, he's still donating money. He's paying for the protests.
And he went to protest in Chicago.
Literally,
you don't need to hear him. Why do people think that you need to hear their voice for them to care?
Literally, he's giving the reparations that the police force should necessarily be given to these families, because at the end of the day, the pain that they've caused has come from them. It's their fault.
I got a thing on the reparations.
Why do they need to voice it on social media?
Exactly.
Doing something physically is better than doing something.
Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. Not in the age that we live in.
Yeah.
Not in the age that we live in.
Sorry, in terms of reparations, did you know?
Are you talking about the 14 trillion that the BET CEO was asking for?
Nah, I'm not talking about that, bro. I'm talking about the fact that so slavery was abolished in the UK apparently. 1833.
Apparently.
Yeah? From 1833 to 2015, we have been our taxes have gone towards reparations for slave owners that have lost income because they don't have slaves.
There was a
till
thing on the
2015, 30 billion pounds. 300 billion pounds.
Could that not be going to the African countries that have been raped and pillaged of all their resources?
So why the fuck are my taxes
going
towards
allowing me to be free? Why am I paying you for my freedom?
For my freedom now.
In that sense, I should be paying for the bus.
In that sense, give me my goddamn money back.
Exactly. I shouldn't be paying for my own house. I should be paying my bills because technically you're living off our backs. Truly. So in a sense, we should be getting that money. But no, it's not going to happen like that. I saw the thing on the news as well. They were saying how David Cameron's great-great-great-grandfather apparently received these reparations. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. It's all right saying that now, but what is that really going to change? Truly. What impact does it have? Yeah, it's good information to know, but at the same time, what about reparations we're meant to be getting? We don't care about his father getting reparations. We want reparations. We want reparations. We need reparations. We're meant to get reparations.
I'm so past reparations. I just want justice.
Mm-hmm. Justice. What is justice, bro?
What I want to be able to go into a room and feel comfortable. I don't want to be seen as the only black person in this room. Because when we went to Brom, that shit was fucked. Everything. Yeah. Even when you go into professional settings and you don't see any other black people. I want to be able to feel comfortable. I want to be able to walk on road and not be stopped by police. I got stopped, fam. I got stopped and searched outside my estate.
I've got searched this quarantine too.
What is that? For looking like a character model?
Literally.
Like, bro, who's doing up crime?
What was it? You fit the description,
bro. Two police on horseback in my estate.
Yeah.
And I can't be around. Like, what is that? I want to be able to feel comfortable where I live. I want to be able to go outside and know that someone's not going to try and spit at me or chat shit to me.
Not only that, I want to know that my siblings are going to be safe in their future and they won't have to worry about what I'm worrying about now.
And my children.
Literally, 100%. I really feel like that's what we should be fighting for. Yeah, the change is not going to be immediate. It's never going to be immediate. It's taken so much time and yet we still don't have the change. The change is supposedly given to us, but it's not apparently there as we can clearly see. So I feel like organisation, through economics, education, just getting our communities together and fighting for one another, not against one another, because that's a serious problem as well. But that's a conversation for another day. Anyone have anything else to say?
But I still got a lot more to say. If I ain't gonna lie to you.
Throw it in, bro. Throw it in.
Hold on.
I know your emotions are heated because I know.
Say, never forget these names.
Oh, 100%.
Because it doesn't just happen in America. It happens here. Never forget Sheku Boyer, Sean Riggs, Rashawn Charles, Roger Sylvester, Joy Gardner, Cynthia Jarrett, and those are just to name a few. The list is
100%. It just goes on and on and on, and it's never
forget
really gonna end. Do you feel like
Shakiri Abdi? Because as much as that wasn't police, the sheer fact that she hasn't felt justice, this 12-year-old East African girl, for being pushed into for being killed by your classmates, disgusts me. Never forget Yusuf. What's his second name? The guy that got stabbed in Manchester
in the neck
by his by his classmates.
Can't remember his name.
Yusuf Maki.
Maki.
Never forget that name.
It's literally remembrance to all, rest in power to all the souls that have lost their lives to absolute brutality. And
make sure to donate if you can't donate.
100%. All the Black Lives Matter.
If you can't donate, even no matter how big your following is, because I ain't got shit on Twitter, but I retweet everything I see about black.
Just spread as much awareness. You never know. Those 20, 15 followers you have, they might then retweet that and they might go to their followers and the chain reaction starts from them. That's where the change begins. Just that one single thing. You don't have to change the whole world.
And don't
just a variable.
Don't stop. Yeah. Keep the pressure on their necks.
100%. Always. Once you change that variable, keep going.
Yeah, because the reaction in America has resulted in reactions globally. So blacks in black people. I said blacks
again.
Black people in Libya are now looking at the way they're being treated and thinking 100%. This is unjust.
Yeah, it shouldn't be happening.
In Brazil has the largest black population in the world. Yeah, every 23 minutes, and a young black man dies in Brazil.
What?
Every 23 minutes.
Oh, but
that's crazy. They have the largest black population. Okay, it's true. They have the largest black population in the world. That might speak to the stats, but that's not the point. Brazil is effed.
Hey, you know what country is tapped for?
Yeah.
You even got people in Palestine flipping marching with us right now.
Syria.
Everything they're going through.
100%.
Everything. Syria. All.
Like I said, it's not just something that's happening in America. It's not happening in the UK. It's happening everywhere, all around the world. We are constantly oppressed, constantly beaten down, constantly treated like we're less than human. When really and truly,
globally,
globally.
If there was a racial hierarchy, we would be on the bottom.
We
And
are at
why
the
is it
bottom.
not just a straight?
It's not even globally. We would be at the bottom. We are at the
We
bottom.
are at the bottom.
We are holding. We are currently
You raped
holding
and
up the
pillaged
chessboard
our
on our
land,
backs.
and we'll give no credit to that.
Yeah.
Why is it that we go on South Bank and we see the Cleopatra's Needle? You've just you want to complain about looting, but you look at look at the Natural History Museum, look at the British History Museum.
There's a quote. Someone said that all of these museums that we see in the Western world is filled by looting.
It is.
How
It
else
is,
would you
because
get these
how else
relics?
do
They're
they
not
do
yours.
that?
Yeah, they're not your relics.
Honestly, are you paying for them?
Yeah,
Clearly not.
because the amount of things you have in there, you think that some of these countries would be better off. Well, doesn't look like that, does it?
That's the problem here. The problem here is that is the lack of acceptance.
Yeah.
Of what you've done to the world.
Literally. It's like we've stopped doing it now. Well, we've tried to stop doing it now. So
and
get
look
over
at
it.
and look at the advancements that we've given.
Yeah, come on. Look what we brought
Look
to
at
the
Thomas
table.
Edison and
Oh, please, Thomas Edison
you won't
stole
see,
the
you
idea
won't
from
speak about
someone
the fact
else.
that modern maths is based off of
Arabic,
off of Arabic maths.
But yeah,
Go, bro.
I'm gonna go back to the whole protesting real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason that my stance, I'm on violence when it comes to violence. So you see the whole London riots that happened. So with Mark Duggan being like unjustly shot.
Yeah.
Yo, with that, it took the whole UK rioting. Like, I'm not saying it does happen in London, but do you see the same thing that happens over there happen over here as much? Like the shooting wise,
Nah.
police brutality wise.
Nah. But that's because there just aren't as many of us.
Yeah.
Is our thing.
So I was happy when I started seeing people right over there because I was like, alright, it's gonna take
actively
not just Minnesota, it's gonna take the whole 50
the whole
states
United States
to go to riot or
it actually
for
took
them
the
to
whole
speak out.
Yeah, it actually took the whole 50 states because all 50 states rose up and said, "Cool, we've had enough. We're behind you."
And they're still fighting right
and
this
still
exact
fighting
moment.
to this day, because really and truly, yeah, like I said, yeah, they've charged the 4 men, but what is the change after? We don't want it to be okay. Yeah, we were just rioting, so you can charge these 4 men. We're gonna go back to what we were doing before. No. We want everything that we are owed because we are owed something. It's not like we're doing this. For
Me personally. They will never They will never accept it. They will never accept it to the point where they give us what we're owed or what we deem as being owed. Yeah. I don't care about that. Honestly, it's just for me. It's just about safety and equality, and the fact that we're not getting that. I've never been to America. I don't ever want to go to America. The way fam, their social climate, bro, it's just I feel like there would be racial tension. Obviously, I don't know for you because
I'll touch on that in a second.
Go on, but yeah, bro, it's just it's.
Yeah, tell us about the social climate too. Since you obviously live there, you studied there.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Like right now, the school that I'm at right now, I'm in the middle of nowhere, and the small town I'm in is predominantly white. Like I get stares when I walk in Walmart. People look at me like I don't belong here. Yeah. Anytime they see me walking, they stop and stare like everything. And the problem with that country is they value so much things over black lives. They value their patriotism over black lives. So with the whole Colin Kaepernick, let's go to Colin Kaepernick.
Please.
My man, peaceful protest. This is why I don't agree with peaceful protest. We've been peaceful. Nothing's changed. Colin Kaepernick has been needed for every game. He got blacklisted from the NFL. But now you see what we're fighting for.
Yeah. My thing, you know what's crazy for me is the direct comparison between the outrage that you saw with Colin Kaepernick taking the knee and not pledging allegiance to the flag, which also if you look at the national anthem, they have had to take out a whole excerpt that is about slavery in order for it to be politically correct. So I don't really want to be speaking shit on that.
And even alright, so before every one of my basketball games, we have to stand for the national anthem. I leave the gym because one time I just stay seated, yeah, and I got corn from my athletic director telling me please don't do that next time. Like, please don't do that again. I'm like, fam, I'm black and I'm Muslim in America. I'm not even from this country. Like, what am I standing for?
Yeah, the country doesn't stand for me. Why am I standing for
exactly?
It? I mean, I'm not gonna let you stand on my shoulders.
No, see, but my thing is, so the comparison to the outrage at Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, and globally speaking, not globally, in the USA, how much their patriotism was valued over this man taking a stance on social injustice, and the direct comparison and lack of outrage at Derek Chauvin taking a knee on a black man's neck and killing him right directly in front of your eyes.
Not even a black man, bro. A human being.
A human being. Yeah. A human being.
A human being. That's what this man is. He's a human being. A father.
Disgust me. The lack
husband.
disgusts me.
A son.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
And this man's lost his life. 100%. That's what we've got to remember. At the end of this day, that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for our freedom. We're fighting to be at peace. And we're fighting just to be equal. We're just trying to be seen as human beings. That's what we are. Hopefully, everything that we said has contributed. Thank you for watching the OD cast, guys.
Hey guys.
Thank you for coming. Come on, God damn it!
It's been the OD podcast here with Kamal, Tariq, and Dylan. Yeah. No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing it.
No, go.
Thank you for watching my podcast, guys.
There we go.
Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, share,
Post notifications, all that.
and we'll be back soon. Thank you for watching.
Bro, I won't go live, fam. I still have way more in me, bro.
I know.
I still have way more. I know it was too long, though.
Yeah, no, that was long. That's basically an hour.